Welcome everyone to this third NEG talk. I feel as though our speaker needs no introduction, Simon Whale.
But I do want one.
Chief Kerfuffle, who is going to be leading on this talk, entitled Help Me Help You.
The fact you had to look at it really Thank you very much. No, that's really kind of you. Just because I only signed up last week, so this is going to be even more anarchic than usual, if that's all right. So I wanted to talk really about today that I'm a bit frustrated, if I'm honest. I'm frustrated because I'm seeing what we're doing at Kerfuffle, and we're doing some really good stuff, and we're working, just some of the people in this room, and it's now got beyond the stage where I think it was this idea in my head where could it work, should it work, and everything else. We're hearing that at another event, and I appreciate we don't talk about other events. We were rated in the top 5% of suppliers. We got the exceptional rating. And what I'm here today is I'm just going to give an overview of what we're actually all about. And just ask you guys, for those people who aren't involved with us, just to give it a go. Because as you see as I go through here, just by taking part, just by some of the clever stuff we can do, we can actually do some really clever stuff together that's going to benefit everybody all around. As I said, this is going to be Help Me Help You. I am PropTech's Tom Cruise, as you can see there. Frustrated because at the age of 48, I still can't grow a proper beard. The hereditary nature of that was I take after my mum, so that's all good. And I'm frustrated, as anyone will see. If you try and stop me getting to the bar, you're going to just don't get him away. So does everybody in this room know what we do, really? Could you just put your hands in your air if you think you know what Kerfuffle does, pretty much? Okay, good. That shows that our marketing's not working at all, so that's really impressive. And that's probably down to myself, to be honest, because that's obviously with me bouncing around, and that's what I'm trying to address here today. We're just going to deal with a couple of elements. The marketing slogan that we are trying to reiterate is Kerfuffle is your one-stop shop for all your estate agency needs. With over 600 suppliers now on the website, we're giving you the advice to help support those difficult choices. You haven't got enough hours in the day. Every time you pretty much take a choice, it's a bit of a gamble. And we're just trying to essentially create our own marketplace. I mean, let's not forget, before I left Reapit, there wasn't really even an A to Z to speak of suppliers in this industry. So again, I've just nicked all the best ideas out there with the Groupons, the TripAdvisors, and things like that, and brought that into play. So you can get involved, and this is the best news about it at all. You can get involved for absolutely free. So where's Peter Lawrence? Peter Lawrence, who refuses to pay suppliers, so that's how we had to do it. He gets involved he's claimed what we call the dashboard, which I'll show you in a minute, absolutely free of charge. He fills in all the information himself. He uses the assets on there, and that's all absolutely perfect. And that works really, really well. But he's probably in the minority because, as the rest of you, you're all absolutely rushed off your feet, aren't you, a lot of the time? You think it's a good idea, but you haven't got the time and energy to put into it. So we can help you out there. We will do that for just £36 per branch per month. So as I said, you haven't really got an excuse, unless you don't like me, which I simply don't believe, to get involved with what we're talking about. Now, to break that down into more detail, why we say we're helping out on all different levels, is that we essentially believe that we're broken it down into three main areas. Partners, as we say, you kind of know about. That's where we help out with, obviously, your suppliers in the business. But we broaden that out as well now, so we've got people. So we've essentially created a learning management system, a training platform where, unlike a lot of the other platforms that are out there in the industry where they're all focused around a single individual trainer, we're going, as you would expect from me, all you can eat, for that sort of Netflix approach. So Richard's been kind enough, he's gone on our platform. We've got Julian O'Dell with a huge amount of content on there. We've got Charlotte Campbell, Tony Morris. and a load of suppliers putting stuff in there. And what I think is, of course, is if we all believe that our people are our most important asset, give them a tool like Campus, our training platform, and we think that's going to help them. And then the last one is really just that angle there, which is hands-on advice and consultancy to help you get the best systems in place in your business to really take advantage of those top two ones there. And we'll come on to that a little bit later on. Now, this is that dashboard that I was talking about. Hopefully you can all see here. And as I said, you can just register, go to just kerfuffle.com/register. And I'm just going to spend a couple of times, you can probably see down the left-hand side, it says My Suppliers there. Dead quickly, you can actually add in just the suppliers there. Where it takes a little bit more time, and where I'm going to show you why it's so important though, is if you take the time and energy to put in the prices in there that you pay those suppliers, and especially the expiry dates if they have contracts, then we can do some really special stuff for you. But why is this important in the first place? Well, you can see there at the top, with this mythical estate agent, they've got 20 suppliers. 20 suppliers is the average of how many estate and lettings agency specific suppliers that agents have in it. That surprises most people. Actually, when we do surveys, they think they only have 12 suppliers. When they go down and list them, that's when it comes out. Now, again, I'm going to come back and explain why that's important, because you can use all of those contract renewal dates to your advantage if you really want to. I'm going to talk of a fictional supplier now called the Dream Club, okay? The Dream Club. And let's just say they're a bit scandalous. They've got a bad reputation. One of our latest enhancements that we've put in here can help you massively out in a couple of different areas. The first thing is, number 2 in every agent's bugbears in their supplier relationships is the auto-renewal of contracts. A lot of people have been, is in property industry with a well-known portal, was just automatically signing them up. And they're not just signing them up usually to a few months. It could be a 3, 4, 5-year contract. Now, I don't actually believe the auto contract renewal is the problem itself. It's that they don't give you enough notice. If you're with Kerfuffle, that's pretty much impossible to happen, because we will notify you 3 months before that renewal contract and ask you what you want to do. And you say, I'm absolutely happy with them, leave them alone. You say, actually, I'm pretty happy. Can you just make sure we're on the best deal? Or I'm not happy, find us an alternative. And that's one of the very simple ways that we can do that. Peter, in his wonderful price-saving mode, can log in himself and see, as you can see down there, the expiry date, and it will just tell him when it's clicking down. So at least if he keeps going in, and he's really, really good, he's got about 80% of his, I think you've got about 30 suppliers in there, haven't you, with those renewal dates off the back of that as well. I don't want to pretend that it's a full account system, but if you do put the price in, it will track spend on prop tech and CRM and all sorts of things like that as well. And the latest enhancement we've just had is that we've also now created what we call essentially the Kerfuffle Vault. Normally, your contracts, if you're honest, are spread between filing cabinets, lost in your inbox, or somewhere on DocuSign. I used to get a call every week at my previous company with somebody saying, I've lost my contract, and I used to go into panic mode because I thought they were leaving. It wasn't, it was just the dog had eaten it or whatever else. Well, if you go into there, just edit it and upload it, you have then got a single place for a source of truth for all of that. So that's where people are going to get a benefit from it. Now, this is just to highlight again, we've got those 650 suppliers on our website. We've categorized them all, and this is Akaboom. It's a really good company. The head of sales has got a bit of a problem with drinking, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't go and speak to them. What you can see there is you can see things like at the top, obviously, we try to get exclusive deals. You can see an overview of information, what product information, what problems they're solving for you. On the left-hand side, you can leave a review, obviously. We are a review platform underneath everything. You can ask the supplier a question directly, or you can ask us. And the reason we do that is because if you actually contacted Akaboom and asked them a question, she's not going to stop. She's going to sink her teeth in and phone you week after week. And our experience is that some people actually don't want to be sold to at that time. So come to us, we'll ask it, and we'll protect you from these vicious salespeople that are out there. Add to wish list, I'm going to come back to in a minute. But the key thing is we are reviews, and we're not like sort of the anonymised comment section on certain sort of news sites. Everybody, if they're going to put their name to it, whether it's good or bad, has to put their name alongside it. We have text-based reviews, as you can see at the top there, and at the bottom, in fact, we've got a couple of them there, video reviews, which I think really brings this to light as well. Now, the other angle and element that you've got in there as well is, in the top left-hand corner, we haven't just categorised stuff by being kind of, I suppose, just boring in terms of this is a CRM, this is a website. We do have that in there, but if you can't see it very clearly, first of all, we departmentally sort it. So obviously, if it is for something niche like block management, it's not going to appear in all the searches. Secondly, though, we categorise it down to things like, well, what part of the process is it? Is it market appraisal? Is it prospecting? And then we can get even more niche. If you're looking for a solution, for example, with valuation presentation, of course, we're going to match this up specifically. So you can use all those search tools to find the job, to find the solution for the job that you're looking for. It's a really comprehensive site now in terms of we're adding videos, interviews, the supplier's own content as well. So if you go into the blog section, you can see all those interviews. You can learn more about suppliers than you've ever been able to do before. It's pushing it a bit to call it the Google of PropTech, but that's definitely what I'm doing. Onboarding, again, a lot of different packages. They are very good, but it takes a while to onboard. So the ability to learn what the onboarding process is, again, we find useful. And then fourthly, even, is is which products they integrate with. More and more you tell us that you want these products to be integrating with third parties, so we'll list that in there, and over time we're going to start developing that to show how good those actual integrations look as well. Now, I said one of those options before was that you could add to the wish list. That's where you can go now. I'm just going to really briefly talk about this. This is, again, rather than having those suppliers locked in your head that you're thinking about using, put them in here, and I'll just give a quick example. Let's say a View Agent's new review site there you were thinking about using. If you put them in there, well, we'll do some quite cute stuff in the background. We'll proactively review how many people are interested on those wish lists. And if, let's say, we found that there was 50 agents interested in View Agents, we'd proactively go to the CEO and we would ask them, look, we've got that in a kind of Groupon sense. What's the deal we can get from you guys to kind of unlock that latent interest? And then you can choose to take advantage of that or not. So, again, just another way we can help you out with the basis. Now, I've either been described as having a childlike innocence or being a really shit businessman, and there's probably a bit of truth in both of those, a bit from column A, a bit from column B. But at the moment, we're choosing to, as I said, it's free to register on the site. We used to do these supplier MOTs where we'll sit down with you for an hour, and they used to be £250. In the run-up to Christmas, they're absolutely free. All we're asking is that you donate whatever you feel that MOT was worth. To either the Stephen Brown charity, Computers for Schools, Agents Giving, and try and do a good thing obviously just before there. You can see here from one just yesterday, they really do get fantastic feedback. They love having that someone in their corner helping them out basically there. And again, if you want to make a note, if you haven't had one of those, just click on calendly.com/kerfuffle/MOT. You can book directly into the diary as well from there. Now, I said, so that's kind of all that kind of the partner side. The second thing is the people. The campus is this online tool that we are rolling out, and we are trying to turn it into, as I said, our version of Netflix. I'm not going to spend too long. Anyone who's interested, let us know, and we will give you a month's free access to have a look at this. But the one I want to talk about just now is the one that we're least known for, and that is consultancy. And consultancy is a bit of a wanky term, isn't it? It's a bit too sort of airy-fairy. Well, what we're if you're a member of the Kerfuffle Club, you get access to any of the different experts I've got aboard. And whatever things that people can throw about me, and most of them are true, one thing I do have a talent for is picking truly fantastic people around us. And we've got people like Paul Morgan, Richard Durant, David Mintz, many of you will know, who are fantastic and can be tapped into on a monthly basis. And these are some of the projects we've been involved in just in the last month, winning more MAs through marketing, creating a world-class future-proof website, calculating the ROI of your marketing with more vendors using social media, reducing time spent dealing with tenants, winning landlords, and to list properties quicker. I'm assuming everyone in this room is going to have, is going to have a tick in the box for one of those or more of those, aren't they, at this time? Simon, would you mind just coming up here? I just want to ask you a brief question. This is where we go all Steve Jobs, and you have to pretend he's like someone famous. So Simon's been, indeed, if you can do that. That's a bit too much. Come up here if you just don't mind, just here. Simon, you've been working with us now for a number of months, haven't you, on there in a few different areas. Would you mind just talking about how Richard Durant's been helping you in the business out?
Yeah, no problem.
And I'll put your lines here so you can read.
Thank you, yeah. Kerfuffle are really, really good. We thought that we ran quite a good, we got about 900 properties under management, and we thought we ran a pretty tight ship. And there were just one or two things that happened that led us to question, frankly, whether we got everything as good as we could do. So I spoke to Simon. He recommended that Richard Durant come and have a look at our business, our lettings business. And he worked very close with my colleague Steve, who's in the audience. And to be honest with you, I'm always terribly cynical about consultants. Really, really cynical about them. I don't think we'd actually ever used a consultant before in 20-odd years. But he was absolutely superb. What it meant is that we were able to have an analysis from somebody who'd done the job, really did know what it was all about. He was able to communicate directly, not just with my colleague Steve and myself, but with the staff within the property management department. He had a real sense of authority. He completely, I think it's reasonable to say, completely changed all of our systems, which was taken on board by the staff because they were being consulted with somebody who really knew what they were doing. And in fact, I haven't told you this. He has helped with Steve. He has helped us develop an additional revenue stream of, it should be 30 grand. Is that right, Steve? Next year.
Could you just make a note then? Bills need to go up a little bit.
So it's been. We did learn some new stuff. And we were reminded of old stuff. Good. But I was. Fantastic.
So can I just say, so obviously the experts, so just for people who didn't know, Richard was MD of Intercounty, well known. I think at one stage they had sort of 6,000 properties when he was there. Unlike me, he's one of and Paul, they keep their heads down, but they're really talented people. Would it be fair to say though, having that ability, just that sanity check, because you've got great people in your business, is just a really useful factor in terms of the Kerfuffle membership per se.
Yeah, it is a really useful factor. I'm like I'm going to say anything else, I've asked you honestly.
It would have been really awkward.
It's really. No, again, I don't know if you're going to cover this separately, but only less than a couple of weeks ago, I'd said to you we've got some challenges with our social media.
Yes.
And you, I don't know if I'm going off
script. No, you're fine. No, it's absolutely fine, because Paul, many of you know Paul Long, fantastic on the Facebook side of things. Yeah. We work with him, and Simon has just mentioned, you're getting involved in it, but you just wanted to tighten up on something. Yeah. So we essentially just set up one of the sessions that we have ourselves with Paul and gave that to you guys to do, and I think it really helps.
I think this intermediary role is not to be underestimated. Sometimes you think, well, I'm interested in this particular product or this particular service, but you think, I don't really want to be talking to them because they're going to be chasing me forever and ever and ever. To have someone like Simon or his team that can speak to these people and say, look, this is the problem they've got at Thomas Myers. They're looking to elevate the social media. And we had I don't know, but Paul Long seems to be a very, very busy guy. Yes. But he arranged for us to have an exclusive 45-minute session with him, and we've now signed up to his course, and we're already starting to implement some of the stuff. So
it's not the bat phone, it's the whale phone. We can get anyone you need. You just let us know.
No, I think that works very well.
Good. Well, that's great. And that's what we're hopefully trying to do, is just distill those suppliers that we know and trust. Obviously, you need to understand whether they will work, and where we can do, we're going to facilitate that. Now, thank you very much. That's really useful. You're not going anywhere yet, because I want to run something just past you now. So this is the next part of what I just wanted to talk about, which is, do we all agree that it's quite difficult making choices buying suppliers of any nature? Quite often, it's quite a lonely decision, isn't it? Not least, and I probably did invent this, so I have to apologise about this, but when you actually ask the salesperson, to kind of validate your you know, the decision. This is the standard thing that comes back. And if you can't read this, I'll just, dear XYZ, you asked me for a list of testimonials. I've enclosed below some of our happy clients who are more than happy to talk to you about their experiences of the Dream Club. Now, you know, and it'll be three, you know, other estate agents. Now, what you don't know is that Tom goes to the footy with the salesperson every weekend, goes on the lash. He used to work with Elizabeth, and he met Arthur on Grindr. So this is not the due diligence that you would be hoping of to find, you know, to back up your decision. And it's no wonder that so many decisions, because you have 3 conversations, you think, that's it, we've done our work. The other thing is, as well, is they're probably totally unfit for purpose in terms of, you know, somebody like Pygot's, they need to have somebody who's in the same kind of, you know, in the same thing. They need to be multi-office, really, because, you know, somebody, a single office agent taking a reference from Countrywide or vice versa, it's just chalk and cheese, and so it doesn't really make any difference. So would you find, and actually, sorry, so that's something you'll have been very familiar with, salespeople there. Yeah. This is what you can do, is if you keep filling in this information on here, because of course we are now building up a massive bank of data alongside it, what we're able to say is, look, this company that you are reviewing, XYZ, have got an average customer satisfaction score, because you put those in on your dashboards. But interestingly enough, actually, the customer satisfaction might have trailed off, so there's a question to be had there. But over time, you can say, actually, as well, we know that their main competitors are XYZ and the other company as well, and they rate in these different areas. Furthermore, you're currently using this legacy package, and those people that have moved to this new system actually rate the experience, you know, what does it say there, 7.8. Now, that's, you know, put it into the CRM space. Somebody having moved from, let's say, Vibra Live to Repeat is interesting enough, but it's not if you're moving from Dupix. You want to see other Dupix clients that have moved. That is 10 times more important. And then the other thing is, as well, is you want to see the tech that works nicely together. Certain tech does work very well together. Dataloft are integrated with a whole host of different companies. So to understand that sort of one company, if they're using, let's say, you know, Dataloft, they rate it highly again. Hopefully what you're getting here is all these different areas, is you're getting unparalleled current and recent customer satisfaction trend data, you're getting competitor analysis, similar upgrade experiences, overall tech stack suitability, and then of course if you come to us and say, look, we'd like to come to speak to a couple of people that actually, you know, might have had poor experiences and understand where it went wrong, just so that we have a really clear view, as well as obviously talking to the happy ones. Do you think having that level of information, Simon, would help you in those decisions that you're going to make in the future?
No.
Shit. I was really hoping you'd say it. But no. It can only help, can't it? Because it's transparency in terms of the...
Yeah, it can only help. And it just makes you feel more confident in any decisions. If you feel you're getting proper feedback from people that you trust. Yeah. Makes a big difference.
Good stuff. That's brilliant. Thank you, Simon. Everyone, just give him a round of applause if you don't mind. So just to finish really on here, you've all heard this, you know, in terms of you've got no excuses. It's either you can go for the free of charge model as long as you actually put the information in there, or you can join us on the Kerfuffle Club from £36 a month and we'll do it for you. You'll all have heard that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I prefer the slightly, you miss 100% of the dates you don't swipe right on. And by the way, you do get this gizmo with every free membership as well, so that's quite important. Though you don't know, I won't keep it going because there's more ones. So my summation really is, help me, help you. That really is it's all about. If you back us in terms of there, we can give you a resource that you haven't had before, and we will stop without a shadow of a doubt, you know, some of those nasty decisions that have been made. Thank you very much. I've got a couple of minutes, I think, for questions, if anyone has got one.
Sorry, I don't think you talked enough about the training, if you don't mind me saying. I thought you might ask me about that.
I did give you the opportunity, so you know, it's no point coming and bitching about that now. Okay, yeah.
Really phenomenal. It's fantastic. Used on its own, that you can just get your negotiators to go to regularly, but also you can do your own training with your staff. It's a great resource to be able to use and share. We use it regularly.
That's really good. Thank you for that. So, I mean, I think that is, sorry, and I didn't mean to. I think it's actually such a big amorphous thing. Actually, it needs its own time. But I think you're absolutely right. To be able to have this ring fence version. So, if you like particular trainers, just on Netflix, there's loads of fantastic. There's Squid Game and everything else, isn't there? And then there's loads of nonsense. You decide what your staff want to do. So, for new starters, you might choose to have Richard Rawlings, the first few videos in terms of what, the first week that they're going to do. You might choose Julian O'Dell's going to do the customer satisfaction. You can mix and match it to reflect the culture that you actually have within your business. And here's the best thing of all, you can upload your own stuff in there as well. And again, nobody else sees that information. So you are absolutely right. Thank you, Simon. The only thing I was going to say in terms of another thing is one thing that's happening a lot at the moment is CRM companies are writing to a lot of their clients, writing off the old legacy packages. Unsurprisingly, given my background, we are giving a free CRM advisory service to help people get the most out of that. So if you do know anybody or you yourselves are doing it, please drop us a line and we'll help you out on that. I think I'm pretty much there. Probably got time for one more if anyone's got one. Otherwise, I know you're all desperate to get to the bar. I certainly am. Anybody else? Okay, thank you very much, guys. Thank you all. Cheers.